Yu-Gi-Oh! As a game has over 10,000 unique cards, and by this time most players have their own collections. Thanks to sites like TCG Player, singles are significantly more accessible, and you can get them all over the world. But what if they weren't as accessible? What if the only products you had access to were sealed product, like boxes, structure decks, megatons which contain good reprints, and things like Duel Devastator? Well, that's what this series aims to find out. Let's go with Sealed Only Online, where I'll be building a deck from scratch using only sealed products and then playing in virtual locals to find if we can become the sealed only king of games. Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Moose and welcome to the next episode of Sealed Only YouTube Shaddoll Edition, where today we are going to be opening up some Fusion Enforcers. So last week we started with a structure deck. Today we're going to be opening up some Fusion Enforcers because we are looking for that invoked package. I'm really excited. I'm hoping to get some really good pulls out of this. At least one of the Alistair, Meltdown, and Invocation. So let's get to the pulls and let's see what we can come up with from today's pulls. Hopefully we get what we need. And here we go into the pack opening, choosing 10 packs, sealed draft mode, and we're going to be opening up some Fusion Enforcers. First pack, we've got an Invocation, which is really good. So first pack in, we already got our Selfless Invocation, King of the Swamp, and Elemental Prism is not bad. We got an Alistair in the second pack, okay, that's great. Third pack, we got a Purgatrio at least, that's good. Refusion's not bad, but it's not great. A Magical Meltdown, so we already got all three, Alistair, Meltdown, and Invocation. That's brilliant in 4 packs. Nothing great in this one. Let's see. Nothing too good in this one either. We've got a Polymerization, a Fusion Substitute, and a second Meltdown. That's really, really good. That is a good pack. We can actually use that. We got an Invoked Raijin as well. That's really good for me. That's pretty good. Invoked Elysium, not too great, honestly. Another Alistair and Invoked Casitas. That's perfect, because Poly as well gives us access to generic fusion targets, which we didn't have before. So let's get into the deck building. And here we got the profile for today's duels, right? So I'm only going to go through the changes we made for this deck from last week. So if you want to see what the deck profile looked like last week, go watch that episode. But today we've added in 2 Alistairs, we've added in 2 Meltdowns, an Invocation, a Fusion Substitute, and a Polymerization. So number 1, Invocation gives us the ability to summon out other fusion monsters other than Shaddolls if we use materials from our hand, or the invoked fusion monsters that we have in our extra deck as well if we're using Alistair as a material. But Polymerization and Fusion Substitute just allow us to actually summon out whatever fusion monsters we want as long as we've got the material somewhere in our hand or field, which helps when we don't have, consistency in our targets. Then in the side deck, well, to be honest, we've taken out the Pot of Avarice, put it there. We've put in another Lost Wind, and that's about it, honestly. Then in the extra deck, the changes that we've made, we've added in the Invoked Casitas just for a water target, I guess. Then the Purgatrio for a fire target if our opponent uses Ash or something that plays fires like Tri-Brigades. We can make this, the sad part is we can't make this in our deck at the moment without our opponent's help because we have no fire targets. I guess Largo Golem if we're going second or in game 2 or 3. Then we can use Purgatrio, and then Raijin because we have Wendy as a target, but also if our opponent is playing something like Virtual World or anything that runs wind monsters, we can actually just super poly it off or get it out of their graveyard with Invocation to make Invoked Raijin. So that's my deck profile for the week. Let's get into the duels. So game 1 started off fairly uneventfully. I chose to go first and opened a fairly decent opening hand. I made a Winder going first, summoned out the Beast with a Wendy, and set some Ultradoll Fusion. He made Draugen, tried to pop the Winder, told him he couldn't, then he decided to try and take it back and Dark Rule and then Draugen. When I told him he couldn't, he swore at me and left. So that's how the game 1. Game 2 was a little bit less controversial, I think. We were playing against a deck that, to be honest, I didn't know at all, so I made Wind again, and he passed. Then we went into game 2, which was a little bit more interactive. I opened up 0 interruptions, and he went Ignister full combo for what felt like an eternity, so I sped it up quite a lot. Yeah, he made the Dark Templar, summoned out everything, summoned out a 4 material, the Arrival. I tried to get over it, but to be honest, the strongest attack monster I have is Purgatrio, and he only had 3 cards on field, so I couldn't get over it. Then he just summoned an Achichi, popped my Purgatrio, and that was that. Game 3, I went first, went into the Winder again, and summoned another beast. He kaiju'd my Winder, went full combo. Again, I popped the Ignister Island, not realizing that it has a resurrection effect, which was really sad. So he summoned Update Drama, went into a 4000 attack point access code, and could pop everything, so that was game 2. Game 3 was, a weird matchup. I don't know much about fish synchro plays, but game 1 was interesting. I went second and couldn't really stand up to full board. I tried my best for a while, but we weren't really getting anywhere because honestly the best way to get over this board was Purgatrio, and I have no fire targets, which is really terrible. So couldn't quite do anything, just ended up taking damage, trying to get to the next turn, but even then summoned out the construct, and we couldn't pop his entire board, so that was that. Game 2, I went first, I invocationed for Winder, and I realized I misplayed there, but I had Shaddolls in my hand, I had Dark Targets in my hand. I went back and looked at it, it didn't actually influence the outcome of the game. I could still have made 2 Winders and an Alistair. So he then went for Moray of Greed, tried to attack over my Winder, and I Alistair'd to raise his attack, so we went to game 3. He went first, summoned out an illegal Link Monster as well, because that thing can't be summoned with those. So I attacked with Winder, he went for Fury of Karyushin, but tried to bring out something that wasn't TT, and then rage quit. Game 4, we went into what was probably the most frustrating game I've played on Dueling Book for a while, because we were playing the old school Mystic Mine, which was Inspector Border, Trap, Stun. Yeah, suffice to say this was not fun. Game 1, spoiler alert, I lost because I really had no answer to 3 Solemn Judgments, or 2 Solemn Judgments. Game 2, I went first, went into Alistair, he banished all my constructs, which honestly I wasn't planning on using at this point, but then I just went for and invoked Raijin, got the Alistair back to hand and set, then he got Card of Demise back, and everything, went kind of fine. He had back row, but Twin Twisters took care of that. Summoned out Alistair, he striked the Alistair, got the beast, and then attacked for what I thought would be game, but he compulsed my Raijin, so I super polyed for a Winder, attacked. He had to sit a back row, and we attacked for game. Game 3, he went first and opened cracked again like crazy. Set a basically full back row with Inspector Border, and had Strike, had Heavy Storm Dusters, had Compulse, and had the second Judgment and Compulse to end the game. So that was our duels for the week, everyone. 2 wins and 2 losses, and one of the 4 games was a very weird rage quit. I don't know what was going on, so yeah, that seems to be the pattern. Dueling Book has some weird people, hey, I'm not gonna lie, but it is what it is. As we go, hopefully it'll get better. But I'm not too unhappy. I think the Invoke package is working okay. I think we still need a couple of cards to make it actually work. So we're gonna have to try and complete that package, or at least make it a little bit better next week. I'm hoping we can. If we can, it'll be a great help. But I don't want to build this up to be Shaddoll Invoke Dogmatica. To be honest, I want the Invoke package for extension and for to be able to make it better. But I don't know what direction I want to go with this yet. So if you have any suggestions for which way should I take the deck going forward? Should I build the normal Shaddoll Invoke Dogmatica? Should I go for Despia? Should I go for Dino? Should I add something else to the Shaddoll engine? If you have any ideas, let me know what you think down in the comments. If you liked the video, make sure to leave a like, leave a comment down below telling me what you'd like to see me do next, and make sure to subscribe for more content like this. Thanks everyone, see you next time.